Money Mondays with Christy Lambert. This week's question is kind of how to manage a large sum of debt and what strategies can you take to best pay off the debt. And the specific question is, I have a large amount of debt on a credit card and I'm trying to decide whether I should keep that balance on the credit card while I pay it off or transfer it to a lower interest personal loan to pay off the debt. So here is the bigger picture thing to keep in mind. I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not going to give you specific advice on how to handle this situation. There's a lot of factors to think about here, including interest rate, closing costs, but the biggest factor to consider is why you are in debt in the first place. And this is really, really critical because there is a tendency once we have a debt paid off on a credit card to then go and rack up more debt if we don't understand what led us to having that debt in the first place. So before you make a decision about what to do with your current debt, I want you to really take some time and think about what led you to have this debt in the first place, and what do you think is different in your life now that won't allow you to put more debt on that credit card if the credit card is paid off. And this is going to take some really honest personal reflection on your part. And I want to talk a little bit about a study that was done back in the 1960s that I think really sheds to light understanding your personal style around money and how you handle debt. And the study looked at kids, and it's kind of known as the Marshmallows study, so I love it because I love marshmallows. But what it talked about was they were given 4-year-olds a marshmallow that was put in front of them, and the kids were told, if you sit there and don't eat the marshmallow, when I get back, I'll give you 2 marshmallows. And what was interesting is there was a group of kids who were able to resist the temptation to eat the marshmallow in return for having more marshmallows later, and that there was another group of kids who ate that marshmallow right away, even though they knew they'd be able to get 2 marshmallows if they waited a little bit. What they found is that decades later, when they studied these 2 groups of kids, that the kids who were not able to delay gratification had higher rates of divorce and were more likely to be obese. And what's interesting is it comes down to this idea of impulse control and delayed gratification. And credit cards, spending money that you don't have on a credit card, is a form of instant gratification. It's getting what you want right now instead of waiting because you know that money is going to cost you more down the road. And so just be honest with yourself. For me, I know that I am probably most likely a marshmallow kid. If that marshmallow is in front of me, I'm going to want to eat it. It's going to be really hard for me not to. So for me, it's more important to take that credit card debt, pay off the debt, understand why I got that debt, and then not have access to credit in the future to set myself up for success. Now, somebody else who maybe isn't a marshmallow kid, who is able to wait so they could get 2 marshmallows, might be able to take a different approach. They might be able to take the lower interest approach because they know they're not going to put that money on a credit card because there was a one-time emergency that led to that money being on the credit card. But this is where it comes to you being really honest and thinking about why are you in that debt in the first place, and what is different in your life that will prevent you from going into debt again once that credit card debt is paid off. Take some time and reflect on those deeper things before looking at the practical things like interest rate and credit scores as you look to make this decision. I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Put your comments in the comment section below. If you've been in a situation where you were kind of looking to pay off debt, what strategies did you use that were helpful to you? I'd love to hear that in the comment section. And then email me your money questions to christy.lambert@areyouthriving.com. Thanks so much for joining me. See you next week. Do you want to improve your relationship with money? Do you want to get to the root cause of why you're spending the way you're spending or why you're earning the amount that you're earning? Visit www.christylambert.com to learn more about money coaching programs that help you connect with yourself and lead you to a life you love.